Alexis Morrison's fingers pressed against the frozen glass, forming 3 fingers, 2 pulses, the emergency signal her SEAL commander taught her 6 months ago. Across the valley, 10 German shepherds stopped mid-drill, heads snapping toward her window in perfect unison. Blood dripped from her split lip where the guard had hit her 30 seconds earlier. Her captors would check on her in exactly 4 minutes. The hand signal she was making, 3 fingers, 2 pulses, 1 desperate prayer, was something only a Navy SEAL canine handler would recognize. Something she'd practiced 1,000 times in training. Something she never thought she'd use while watching 300 girls wait to be sold. The dogs were staring now, all 10 of them. This was it, her only chance. Before we begin, hit that subscribe button and stay with us until the very end. This story takes turns you won't believe. Drop a comment with your city or country so I can see how far Lex's story travels. Now let's begin. "You're bleeding on my floor," the guard's voice came from behind her. Lex didn't turn around, kept her forehead pressed against the window, kept her 3 fingers visible, kept pulsing them. 2 beats. Hold. 2 beats. Hold. "I said you're bleeding." "I heard you." The guard, Victor, thick neck, dead eyes, former military gone wrong, crossed the room in 3 steps, grabbed her hair, yanked her back from the window. Lex's head snapped backward, but she'd been ready, had tensed her neck muscles the way they taught her in SEAL training when you knew impact was coming. "What were you doing at that window?" "Looking outside. It's pretty." Victor's fist connected with her ribs. Air exploded from Lex's lungs. She doubled over, tasted blood. Didn't make a sound because making sounds meant weakness, and weakness got you killed. "Try again. What were you doing?" Lex straightened slowly, met his eyes. "I was looking at the mountains. They remind me of home." "Is that a crime?" Victor studied her, looking for lies, looking for fear. He wouldn't find either, because Lex had been lying to dangerous men since she was 12 years old, lying to her abusive stepfather, and fear was something she'd learned to bury so deep it couldn't surface. "You've been trouble since you got here," Victor said, asking questions, watching everything, making the other girls nervous. Mr. Calloway doesn't like trouble. The name hit like a punch. Senator Richard Calloway, Armed Services Committee Chairman, the man whose encrypted emails Lex had found on her sister's laptop, the man who'd built a trafficking empire while pretending to protect children in congressional hearings. "I don't know who that is," Lex said. "Sure you don't." Victor grabbed her chin, forced her face toward him. "You know what happens to girls who make trouble here. They disappear." "Smart girl. So stop making trouble. Stop staring out windows. Stop asking when you're going home." "You're not going home. This is home now. Until somebody buys you. Then that's home. You understand?" Lex nodded. Victor released her with a shove, walked to the door, turned back. "Breakfast in 10 minutes. You and the other girls in your section. And if I catch you near that window again, I'll break your fingers so you can't signal anyone." The door slammed, lock clicked, and Lex let out the breath she'd been holding, because Victor had just confirmed what she'd hoped. He'd seen her signaling, recognized it as signaling, which meant across that valley, someone else might have too. She moved back to the window, slower this time, watching the door. The dogs were still there, all 10 German shepherds, no longer running drills, standing in formation, staring at her building. Their handler, a woman in FBI tactical gear, was on a radio, pointing toward the compound, gesturing urgently. Lex's heart hammered. The signal had worked. They'd seen. They'd recognized. Now the question was whether they'd understand. Whether they'd realize a Navy SEAL was trapped in a trafficking compound signaling for extraction. Whether her former partner Titan was in that unit and remembered her. The door opened again. Different guard this time. Younger. Nervous. "Breakfast. Now. Mr. Victor says move." Lex followed him down the hallway. 15 other girls were already moving toward the dining area. All of them silent. All of them moving like ghosts. Because that's what this place did. It turned people into ghosts. But Lex wasn't a ghost. She was a Navy SEAL. And SEALs didn't become ghosts. They became weapons. The dining area was a converted basement. Concrete floor, metal tables, fluorescent lights that hummed and flickered. 23 girls sat eating stale bread and weak coffee. Lex counted them automatically. Always counting. Always assessing. 23 in this section. She'd seen other sections during her 47 days here. Estimated 300 total, maybe more. She sat at the end of one table. A girl beside her, maybe 17, hollow-eyed, whispered without looking up. "You're the new one. The one Victor keeps watching." "Yeah." "Why does he watch you?" "Because I asked too many questions." "Stop asking questions. Questions get you hurt." "I've been hurt before." The girl looked at her then, really looked. "You're different. You're not scared like the rest of us." "I'm scared. I'm just good at hiding it." "What's your name?" Lex had been using the alias they'd created for her undercover operation. Jessica Matthews. College dropout. Runaway. Perfect victim profile. But something in this girl's desperate eyes made her break protocol. "Lex, what's yours?" "Kara. I've been here 4 months. They move us every few weeks, different locations. This is the 3rd place I've been." "How many girls total?" "I don't know. Hundreds, maybe. They separate us, keep us from talking, from organizing, from remembering we're people." Lex's hands clenched. "We're getting out of here." Kara laughed, bitter and broken. "No, we're not. Girls don't get out. We get sold. Or we die. Those are the only 2 options. There's a 3rd option." "What?" "We fight." Kara's eyes widened. "You can't fight them. They have guns. They have—" "I know what they have, but they don't know what I have." "What do you have?" Lex looked at her, decided to trust. Training, and backup that's coming whether they know it or not. "You're crazy." "Probably, but I'm also a Navy SEAL who went undercover to find my sister, and I just signaled an FBI K-9 unit across the valley. So yeah, I'm crazy, but I'm the kind of crazy that doesn't quit." Kara stared. "You're military?" "Was. Technically, I'm dead. Training accident 3 months ago. No body recovered. Perfect cover for going dark." "Why? Why would you do this?" "Because my sister disappeared. Aria, 16 years old, honor student, recruited by a fake modeling agency. And when I tracked her, the trail led here, to this network, to Senator Calloway. The senator who does all those child protection speeches? The same one. Turns out he's not protecting children. He's selling them." Kara's face went pale. "If they find out who you are—" "They'll kill me, I know. But they haven't found out yet. And I'm not leaving without my sister. Or without any of you." A guard shouted, "Breakfast over. Back to your sections. Now!" The girls moved like automatons. Lex stood with them, but Kara grabbed her wrist, whispered urgently, "Your sister, Aria, is she here?" Lex's breath caught. "You know her?" "Maybe. There's a girl in Section C, blonde, young, came in about 3 months ago. Keep saying her name is Aria Morrison. Keep saying her sister is coming for her. The guards beat her for it, said nobody's coming, said her sister is dead. Lex's vision tunneled. Her hands shook. Where is Section C? North Wing, maximum security. That's where they keep the girls they're selling to special buyers. The ones who pay premium prices. How do I get there? You don't. Nobody gets to Section C except the guards and Mr. Calloway when he visits. When does he visit? Tonight. I heard Victor talking. Said Calloway is coming to inspect the new arrivals before the auction tomorrow. Lex's mind raced. Senator Calloway was coming here. Tonight. To a facility full of trafficked girls. If she could get evidence, photos, recording, anything that proved his direct involvement. But more importantly, Aria was here, in Section C, alive. Everything Lex had endured for 47 days, the beatings, the fear, the degradation, all of it had been worth it because her sister was alive. Kara, I need your help. With what? Getting to Section C tonight. That's suicide. Maybe, but I'm doing it anyway. Are you in? Kara looked at her, at this woman who claimed to be a Navy SEAL, who'd survived military training, who'd gone undercover in hell to save her sister. And something in Kara's hollow eyes sparked. Something that had been dead for 4 months, flickering back to life. What do I have to do? They separated into different sections, but Lex's mind was already working, planning, calculating. She had maybe 12 hours until Calloway's visit. 12 hours to figure out how to get to Section C, how to document Calloway's presence, how to extract Aria, and how to survive long enough to make it matter. Back in her holding room, Lex moved to the window again. Slower this time, more careful. The German shepherds were gone. Training had resumed. But she'd seen enough. The signal had been received. Whether it would be acted on was another question. She counted the hours until nightfall, counted the guards' rotation patterns, counted the seconds between patrol checks. Everything in her SEAL training had taught her to observe, calculate, prepare. At 1400 hours, the door opened. Victor again. But this time, he wasn't alone. A man in an expensive suit stood beside him. 50-something, silver hair, face Lex had seen on CNN a dozen times. Senator Richard Calloway. He looked at her the way someone looks at livestock, assessing, calculating value. This one, he said to Victor. She's new? Came in 6 weeks ago. Been trouble ever since. What kind of trouble? Asks questions. Watches too much. I caught her at the window this morning signaling something. Calloway's eyes narrowed. Signaling what? Probably nothing, but I don't trust her. Calloway stepped closer to Lex. She kept her expression neutral, kept her breathing steady, refused to show the rage burning through her veins. What's your name? He asked. Jessica Matthews. Where are you from, Jessica? Denver. Family? Dead. How did you end up here? I trusted the wrong people. Calloway smiled, cold and reptilian. We all make mistakes. The difference is most people get second chances. You won't. He turned to Victor. She's too smart, too observant. Don't put her in tomorrow's auction. Hold her back for special buyers, the ones who want someone with fight. Victor nodded. Calloway left without another word. And Lex understood immediately what had just happened. She'd been marked, set aside for the highest bidder, the kind of buyer who paid premium for women with military training, The kind who wouldn't just traffic her. They'd break her first. She had maybe 24 hours before that happened, which meant tonight wasn't just about finding Arya. It was about survival, about escaping, about getting evidence that would destroy Calloway before he destroyed her. At 1900 hours, the facility went to night protocol. Reduced lighting, skeleton guard crew. Lex waited until 2100, until the guard outside her door changed shifts. 8-minute gap, standard security flaw. She moved to the door, pulled the bent wire she'd hidden in her sock, salvaged from a broken bed frame 2 weeks ago. Picked the lock in 43 seconds. Seer School had taught her that locks were suggestions, not barriers. The hallway was empty. Lex moved silently, barefoot, staying to the shadows. Every corner she stopped. Listened. Counted footsteps. Mapped patrol patterns. Section C was 3 corridors and 2 locked doors away. She made it to the first door. Picked it. Moved through. Made it to the second door. And found Kara waiting. "I thought you might actually be crazy enough to try this," Kara whispered. "You came. You said we fight. I'm fighting." Together they picked the final lock, entered Section C, and Lex saw her, Arya, sitting on a cot in the corner, thinner than Lex remembered, hair shorter, face bruised, but alive, breathing, real. Lex crossed the room in 3 steps, dropped to her knees. "Arya." Her sister's head lifted. Eyes that had been vacant suddenly focused. "No, you're not real. You're dead. They said you're dead." "I'm not dead. I'm here. I'm real." "Lex?" Arya's voice cracked. "Is it really you?" "It's really me." Arya collapsed into her arms, started sobbing, and Lex held her. Held her baby sister who she'd spent 3 months believing was dead, who she'd infiltrated hell to find, who was alive and broken and here. "I knew you'd come," Arya whispered. "I knew you wouldn't leave me." "Never. I'll never leave you." Kara hissed from the doorway. "Guards, 2 of them, 90 seconds out." Lex pulled back from Arya. "Listen to me. I can't get you out tonight, but I'm working on it. There's an FBI unit across the valley. I signaled them. Help is coming." "When?" "I don't know, but soon. Until then, you stay strong. You survive. You understand?" Arya nodded. "There are so many girls here. Hundreds. You can't leave them." "I won't. I promise. We're all getting out." "Lex," Kara's whisper turned urgent. "They're here." Lex kissed Arya's forehead, ran for the door, made it into the hallway. But Victor was there, standing 10 feet away, gun drawn. "Well," he said quietly, "looks like we have a problem." And Lex understood that everything, her cover, her mission, her life, had just fallen apart. Victor's gun didn't waver. "Hands where I can see them, both of you." Lex raised her hands slowly. Kara did the same. Behind them, through the open door, Arya was visible sitting on the cot. Victor's eyes flicked to her, then back to Lex. "You went to see the Morrison girl. Why?" Lex's mind raced. "I heard she was my age. Wanted to talk to someone who wasn't broken yet." "Bullshit. You picked 3 locks to get here. That takes skill, training. Who are you really?" "I told you, Jessica Matthews." Victor stepped closer. "Jessica Matthews died in a car accident in Denver 6 years ago. I checked. So try again. Who the hell are you?" The cover was blown, completely. Lex had maybe 3 seconds before Victor called it in. 3 seconds before the entire facility went on lockdown. 3 seconds to make a choice. She made it. Her hands dropped, not in surrender, in attack. SEAL close quarters combat training kicked in automatically. She pivoted left. Victor's gun tracked her, but she was already inside his reach. Her left hand caught his wrist, rotated it outward. Applied pressure to the specific joint that made fingers spasm open. The gun clattered. Victor was trained too, former military. He threw an elbow, caught Lex in the temple. Stars exploded. She went down, but rolled, came up with the gun. Victor charged. Lex fired. The suppressed weapon made a sound like a cough. Victor stumbled, looked down at the red spreading across his chest, looked up at Lex with eyes that said he finally understood who she really was. "Navy SEAL," he whispered. "You're the Morrison girl's sister. The one who died." "I didn't die. I went hunting." Victor collapsed. Lex caught him, lowered him quietly, checked his pulse. Weak, fading. He had maybe minutes, maybe less. "Lex," Kara's voice shook. "You just shot him. They'll hear. They'll come." The gun's suppressed. We've got maybe 2 minutes before someone checks why Victor's not responding to radio. "What do we do?" Lex grabbed Victor's radio, his keys, his phone. "We move, right now. Section C has 17 girls. We're taking them all." "That's insane!" "It's necessary. Kara, you can run or you can help me. Choose now." Kara looked at Victor bleeding out on the floor, at Lex holding a gun like she'd been born with it, at the choice between cowering and fighting. "I'll help." "Good. Get the other girls. Tell them we're evacuating. Tell them to stay quiet and follow orders. You've got 90 seconds. Kara ran into Section C. Lex heard whispers, scared questions. Kara's voice cutting through. "There's a Navy SEAL here. She's getting us out. Move, now." Lex checked Victor's phone. Encrypted. But she'd expected that. She didn't need access. She needed the phone itself. Evidence. Proof that Calloway's people had been communicating with this facility. The first girl emerged, then another, then 15 more. All of them wide-eyed, all of them looking at Lex like she was either salvation or insanity. Arya came last, saw Victor's body, saw the gun in Lex's hand. "You killed him." "He was going to kill all of us." "Are you really getting us out?" "That's the plan." "What if it doesn't work?" "Then we die fighting instead of in chains. I'll take those odds." Lex moved to the front, 17 girls following. She led them back through the corridors. Every corner she stopped. Cleared. Moved. Standard tactical movement. The girls kept up. Fear made them fast. They reached the main corridor. Alarm blared. Lights strobed red. Victor's body had been found. Or someone had noticed the lockdown breach. Either way, the facility was alerting. "Lex!" Kara grabbed her arm. "They know!" "I know they know. Keep moving." They hit the first checkpoint. 2 guards running toward them. Lex didn't hesitate. 2 shots. Both guards down. She grabbed their weapons, tossed one to Kara. "You know how to use this?" "Point and shoot?" "Close enough. Safety's here. Don't shoot unless they're shooting at us first." They kept moving. The facility's layout was burned into Lex's memory from 47 days of observation. 3 more corridors, 2 stairwells, 1 exit door that led to the vehicle bay. More guards converging. Lex put herself between them and the girls. Returned fire. Dropped 3 more. Took a bullet in the shoulder. Felt it punch through. Kept moving because SEALs didn't stop for bullet wounds unless they were fatal. "You're hit!" Arya screamed. "I'm fine. Keep moving." They reached the stairwell, started down. Lex covered their retreat, fired at anyone who followed. The girls were crying, panicking, but they were moving. That's all that mattered. Ground floor, vehicle bay visible through reinforced doors. Lex shot the lock, kicked the door open, and stopped. Senator Calloway stood in the bay, surrounded by 8 armed contractors, all of them pointing weapons at the doorway. "Well," Calloway said calmly, "this is unexpected." Lex pushed the girls back into the stairwell, shielded them with her body, kept her weapon trained on Calloway. "Let them go. This is between you and me." Calloway smiled. "No, Lieutenant Morrison. This is between you and the federal prison sentence you just earned. Killing my employees, stealing my property, breaking into a private facility. That's terrorism." "Your property? These are human beings." "These are assets, merchandise, and you're trespassing." "I'm a Navy SEAL conducting a rescue operation." "You're a dead woman conducting suicide. The official record says you died 3 months ago, so killing you tonight doesn't count as murder. It's just cleaning up a mess." Lex's mind calculated. 8 contractors, 1 wounded SEAL, 17 unarmed girls. The math was impossible. Then Calloway's phone rang. He answered, listened. His face went white. "What do you mean the FBI is here?" Lex's heart jumped. The signal. They'd acted on it. Calloway barked orders into the phone. "All units to perimeter. Repel breach. Use lethal force. Authorization code Victor 7 Charlie." He hung up, looked at Lex. "Your rescue mission just became a massacre. FBI tactical teams are hitting the compound. My contractors are authorized to eliminate all witnesses, starting with these girls." "You'd kill 300 people to cover your crimes?" "I'd kill 3,000. Power requires sacrifice, usually other people's." Gunfire erupted outside. Not small arms, heavy caliber, automatic weapons. The FBI had brought force. But Calloway's contractors were military trained. This was going to be a war. Lex made a decision. "Girls, back upstairs. Section C. Lock yourselves in. Don't open for anyone except me or someone identifying themselves as FBI." "What about you?" Arya grabbed her arm. "I'm ending this. Go. Now!" The girls ran. Kara hesitated. Lex shoved her. "Protect them. That's your job. Mine is killing him." Kara fled. The stairwell door closed, and Lex stood alone facing Calloway and his 8 contractors. "Brave," Calloway said. "Stupid, but brave." "I've got nothing to lose. You took my sister, beat her, sold children. You're a monster in a suit. And monsters don't get to win." "I've been winning for 15 years. 1 SEAL won't change that." Lex smiled. Cold. Dangerous. "1 SEAL took out Bin Laden. Want to bet what 1 SEAL can do to you?" She moved. Not toward Calloway. Toward the electrical panel on the wall. Fired. Sparks erupted. Lights died. The vehicle bay plunged into darkness. Lex dropped, rolled, came up firing. Muzzle flashes revealed contractor positions. She targeted them systematically. Dropped 2 before they adjusted. Took cover behind a vehicle. Returned fire. Dropped a 3rd. The contractors were good, but Lex had been trained by the best. Fought in Fallujah, Kandahar, places where every corner could kill you. This was just Tuesday. She flanked left, came up behind the 4th contractor, knife from her boot. Silent kill. Took his weapon. Rifle now. Better firepower. The contractors realized too late they were fighting a ghost. Someone trained for this. Someone who didn't fear death because she'd already died 3 months ago. Lex kept moving, kept shooting, dropped 5, 6, 7. The 8th ran. Lex let him go. Needed him to spread terror. Needed Calloway to understand he was mortal. Lights flickered back on. Emergency generators. Calloway stood alone, weapon drawn but trembling, face showing fear from maybe the first time in 15 years. "You can't win," he said. "Even if you kill me, the network survives. There are others, senators, judges, generals, people more powerful than me. They'll hunt you. They'll destroy everyone you love. Then I'll destroy them too, one by one, starting with you." Lex aimed. Calloway dropped his weapon, raised his hands. "Wait, wait! I can give you names, locations, everything. Immunity deal, witness protection. You save your sister and walk away." "I'm not walking away." "Then what do you want?" "Justice. For my sister. For 300 girls. For every family you destroyed." Outside, the gunfire intensified, then stopped. Voices calling. "FBI! Drop weapons! Hands up!" The cavalry had arrived. Lex kept her weapon on Calloway. "Get on your knees. You can't prove anything. My lawyers will—" "I don't need lawyers. I've got your phone, Victor's phone, and 17 witnesses who just watched you order their execution. You're done." Calloway's composure shattered. He lunged at Lex, desperate, panicked. She sidestepped, brought the rifle butt down on his head. He dropped, unconscious. The vehicle bay door exploded open. FBI tactical team poured in, weapons drawn, orders shouting. "On the ground! Hands visible! Now!" Lex dropped her rifle, raised her hands. "Lieutenant Alexis Morrison, Navy SEAL. I need immediate medical for 17 girls in Section C, and I've got Senator Calloway in custody." The team leader lowered his weapon. "Morrison? You're supposed to be dead." "I got better. Where's Captain Chen?" "Right here." A woman pushed through the tactical team. 40-something, hard eyes, SEAL trident tattoo visible on her neck. Captain Sarah Chen, Lex's former commanding officer. Chen stopped, stared. "Jesus Christ, it really is you." "Ma'am?" "You've faked your death, went undercover without authorization, killed multiple people, and just assaulted a United States senator." "Yes, ma'am." "And you did it to save your sister?" "And 300 other girls, ma'am." Chen was quiet for a long moment. Then, "Medic, get Morrison treated. Tactical teams, sweep the facility. I want every victim located and evacuated. And someone read Senator Calloway his rights before he wakes up." She looked at Lex. "You're either getting a medal or a court-martial. Possibly both. I'll take the court-martial if it means Aria's safe." "Your sister's alive?" "Section C, North Wing. She's—" Lex's voice cracked. "She's alive." Chen grabbed her radio. "This is Chen. I need a medical team to Section C immediately. We've got high-value witnesses there." Lex's legs gave out. Chen caught her. "Whoa, easy. You're bleeding." "I know." "How bad?" "Shoulder, through and through. I'll live." "You'd better, because you've got a lot of explaining to do." Medics arrived, started working on Lex's wound. She waved them off. "My sister first. Get to my sister." "Lieutenant, you're in shock. I said my sister first." Chen nodded to the medics. They ran towards Section C. Lex watched them go. Watched Chen's team secure the facility. Watched Senator Calloway get handcuffed and dragged away, still unconscious. And she finally let herself feel it. The fear, the pain, the impossible relief that Aria was alive, that the nightmare was ending, that somehow, impossibly, the mission had succeeded. Lex, Chen knelt beside her. The signal. The one our canine unit picked up. That was you? Yeah. What did you signal? Emergency extraction. 3 fingers, 2 pulses. SEAL operator down. Immediate assistance required. Chen smiled. Grim. Proud. You signaled using military working dog protocols from across a valley through a window. That's either genius or insane. Little of both, probably. Which dog unit responded? German Shepherds, 10 of them. Stopped mid-drill when they saw the signal. Chen's smile widened. Titan's unit. Lex's breath caught. Titan? He's here? He's been FBI canine for 3 months. Since you died. Wouldn't work with anyone else. Kept searching for you. We thought he was grieving. He knew. Dogs always know. He's outside. Want to see him? Yeah, I really do. Chen helped Lex to her feet. They walked outside. The compound was surrounded by FBI vehicles, agents everywhere. And in the middle of it all, a German Shepherd with tan, gold, and black coat sat at perfect attention. Head up, ears forward, like he'd been waiting. Lex whispered, Titan. The dog's head snapped toward her voice. Ears rotated. Body went rigid. Then he was running. 90 pounds of pure loyalty, sprinting toward the handler he thought he'd lost. Lex dropped to her knees. Titan hit her full force, knocked her over, started licking her face, whining, making sounds Lex had never heard before. Not distress. Joy. I missed you too, boy. I missed you so much. Titan pressed against her, refused to let go, and Lex held him. Held the partner who'd saved her life a dozen times, who'd recognized her signal across a valley, who'd brought the cavalry. Chen watched. He knew you were alive. Dogs always know. The network. How big is it? Bigger than you think. 12 facilities, 8 countries, 300 girls here alone. We got them all. 18 tactical teams hit simultaneously. Your signal triggered a coordinated international operation. Every facility, every conspirator, all of it came down tonight. Because of the signal? Because you refused to stay silent. And somewhere in Section C, medics were reaching Aria. Were telling her she was safe. Were explaining that her sister, the Navy SEAL who died 3 months ago, had come back from the dead to save her. Because that's what SEALs did. They completed the mission, no matter the cost. Lex stood up from where she'd been kneeling with Titan. Chen was on her radio, coordinating extraction, when a medic ran toward them. Young, breathless, scared. Captain Chen, we've got a problem in Section C. Lex's chest tightened. What kind of problem? The Morrison girl, Aria. She won't let anyone near her, won't talk, won't move. Just keep saying her sister's dead, and we're lying. Lex started running before the medic finished speaking. Titan at her heels. Chen shouting behind her, but Lex didn't stop. Through the compound, up the stairs, down the corridor, to Section C, where medics stood outside looking helpless. She pushed through them, found Aria curled in the corner, shaking, eyes vacant. 17 other girls surrounding her protectively. Kara at the front. She broke when the medics came, Kara said quietly. Started screaming that you were dead, that this was a trick, that they were going to hurt us again. Lex approached slowly. Aria, it's me. It's really me. Aria's head lifted, eyes that didn't recognize, didn't believe. You're not real. My sister died. They told me she died. Training accident. No body. She's gone. I faked it, to find you, to save you. Prove it, Aria's voice cracked. Prove you're real. Lex knelt 3 feet away, close, but not threatening. When you were 7, you fell off your bike, broke your wrist. I carried you 2 miles to the hospital on my back. You cried the whole way, not because it hurt, because you were mad you'd have to miss soccer practice. Aria's breathing hitched. Anyone could know that. When Mom died, you wouldn't eat for 3 days, wouldn't talk, just sat in her closet holding her clothes. I sat with you, didn't say anything, just sat. On the 3rd day, you asked me if dead people could still see us. I said yes. You asked how I knew. I said, because Mom told me she'd always be watching. You said that was creepy. We both laughed. First time either of us had laughed since the funeral. Tears started down Aria's face. Lex? Yeah, baby girl, it's me. You came for me. Of course I came for you. I'll always come for you. Aria launched herself forward. Lex caught her, held her while she sobbed, while 3 months of trauma poured out in gasps and broken words. The other girls watched, some crying, some smiling, all understanding they were witnessing something sacred. Chen appeared in the doorway, gave Lex a nod. Space, time, then gestured to the medics. Get these girls to the medical bay. Full exams, trauma counseling on standby. And someone call their families, all of them, right now. The girls filed out slowly. Kara stopped beside Lex. Thank you for being crazy enough to fight. Thank you for helping. What happens now? You go home. You heal. You testify when we prosecute these bastards. And you? I finish what I started. Kara left. Aria pulled back from Lex. Your shoulder. You're bleeding. Bullet went through. I'm fine. You got shot saving me. I'd take 100 bullets for you. You know that. Aria looked at Titan sitting patiently beside them. That's your dog, the one you told me about. That's Titan. He found you, recognized my signal across the valley, brought the FBI. Aria reached out. Titan sniffed her hand, licked it gently. Good dog. Chen cleared her throat. Lex, we need to talk. Now. Give me 5 minutes. You've got 2. This is time sensitive. Lex helped Aria stand. Medics are going to check you over, make sure you're okay. Then we're getting you out of here. Where am I going? Safe house, FBI protection, until the trials are over. What about you? I'll be close, I promise. Don't leave me again. Never. But right now, I have to go be a SEAL. You have to go be brave. Can you do that? Aria nodded. Let the medics lead her away. Look back once. Lex waved, forced a smile, waited until Aria was out of sight before letting the smile drop. Chen was waiting in the hallway. We've got a situation. What kind? The kind that means Calloway might walk. Lex's hands clenched. Explain. His attorney showed up 10 minutes ago. High-powered DC lawyer. Claims Calloway was here investigating the facility. That he was working undercover for a Senate Oversight Committee. That he's the victim here. That's insane! That's expensive legal strategy. And it might work, because we don't have hard evidence linking him directly to trafficking operations. Just him being present at a facility. His lawyer's already spinning it as heroic Senate investigation gone wrong. What about the girls' testimony? Defense will argue they're traumatized, unreliable, coached. We've been through this before. Witnesses recant. Evidence disappears. Powerful men walk. Not this time. Then we need something ironclad. Something that proves beyond doubt Calloway was running this network. Lex pulled Victor's phone from her pocket. This, his head of security, encrypted communications, financial transactions, orders directly from Callaway. Chen took it. Password protected? Biometric. We need Victor's fingerprint. Victor's dead. His body's in the morgue van. His fingerprints still work for 6 hours post-mortem. Get me to him. Chen led Lex outside. The morgue van was loading bodies. Victor's was already bagged. Chen flashed her badge. FBI, I need access to this body. Now. The coroner started to protest. Chen pulled rank. They unzipped the bag. Lex took Victor's dead hand, pressed his thumb against the phone. It unlocked. And what they found made Chen go pale. Jesus Christ! The phone contained everything. Encrypted messages between Callaway and facility commanders across 12 locations. Financial ledgers showing payments from Callaway shell companies to trafficking networks. Video files of Callaway personally selecting girls at auctions. And worse, communications with other senators, judges, military officers. The network wasn't just Callaway. It was systemic. This is bigger than we thought, Chen whispered. How much bigger? Federal corruption spanning 3 administrations, 23 government officials, billions in revenue. Lex, this isn't just trafficking. This is treason. Can we use it? If we can authenticate it, if we can prove the chain of custody, if we can keep it from being suppressed by the very people it implicates. Then we go public, right now, before they can bury it. We can't just release classified evidence. It's not classified, it's criminal. And I didn't sign any NDAs when I went undercover. I'm a private citizen with evidence of federal crimes. First Amendment protects me. Chen stared at her. You want to leak this? I want to make it impossible to suppress. Send it to every news outlet simultaneously. Make it so viral they can't contain it. Force prosecution because the public demands it. That's career suicide for both of us. I died 3 months ago. I've got nothing to lose. What about you? Chen was quiet for a long moment. Then she smiled, cold, determined. I joined the FBI to catch bad guys, not protect them. Let's burn this whole thing down. They found a secure laptop, started uploading. Every file, every message, every video. Sent to New York Times, Washington Post, CNN, BBC. Every major outlet with journalists who'd been investigating trafficking for years. 23 minutes to upload it all. Halfway through, Chen's phone rang. Her face went white. It's the FBI director. Don't answer. I have to. She answered, listened. Her expression hardened. Sir, with all due respect, I'm in the middle of the largest trafficking bust in Bureau history. I'll call you back. She hung up. They know. Someone tipped them off we have Callaway's phone. Who? Only 3 people knew. You, me, and the coroner who let us access Victor's body. Lex's stomach dropped. The coroner's compromised. Or someone's monitoring Bureau communications. Either way, we've got maybe minutes before they shut this down. The upload hit 87%. Chen's phone rang again. She ignored it. 92%. Footsteps in the hallway. Heavy. Multiple people. FBI, freeze! 6 agents stormed in, weapons drawn. Lead agent, 50-something, cold eyes, pointed at Chen. Captain Chen, you're relieved of command. Hand over that laptop. On whose authority? Deputy Director Marcus Webb. You're under investigation for mishandling classified evidence. This isn't classified. It's evidence of criminal conspiracy. That's not your determination to make. The laptop. Now. Chen looked at Lex. At the upload bar, 96%. She grabbed the laptop, threw it at Lex. "Run!" Lex caught it, Titan at her heels. She sprinted for the door. The agent shouted, started to pursue. Chen threw herself in their path. "She's a Navy SEAL! You're not catching her!" Lex hit the corridor. The laptop showed 98%. Almost there. Almost done. She just needed 30 more seconds. Footsteps behind her. Gaining. Lex turned a corner, slammed into someone. Both went down. The laptop skidded. Lex looked up into the face of Deputy Director Marcus Webb. "Lieutenant Morrison, you're making this very difficult." Lex dove for the laptop. Webb's foot came down on her injured shoulder. Pain exploded. She screamed. Titan launched himself at Webb. The deputy director stumbled back. Titan stood over Lex, snarling, protecting. Webb drew his weapon. "Call off the dog or I shoot it." "You shoot my dog, I'll rip your throat out with my teeth." Tough talk from someone bleeding on my floor. The laptop chimed. Upload complete, 100%. Lex started laughing. Couldn't help it. Pain and relief and triumph mixing into something almost manic. "What's funny?" Webb demanded. "You're too late. It's done. Every file, every message, every piece of evidence. It's in the hands of 20 different news organizations. By morning, the whole world knows what Calloway did, what you tried to cover up." Webb's face went white. "You just destroyed your career." "I destroyed a trafficking network." "I'll take that trade. You'll go to prison, leaking classified information, unauthorized disclosure, theft of federal evidence. Then I'll go to prison, but Calloway goes with me, and so do the 23 other government officials on those files, including you." Webb's gun hand shook. "I'm not on those files. Message thread from last week. Calloway to someone with your phone number, discussing witness elimination. Want me to quote it?" For a long moment, Webb stood frozen, calculating, realizing his entire career was about to implode. Then he lowered his weapon, turned, walked away without a word. Chen appeared, helped Lex to her feet. "Upload went through?" "Every byte." "Then we just started a war." "Good. About time someone fought back." They walked outside together. Dawn was breaking. FBI agents everywhere. News vans arriving. Reporters already setting up. And in the distance, sirens. Not more FBI. Federal marshals coming to make arrests that couldn't be stopped anymore. Arya found Lex in the chaos, ran to her, hugged her. "The medic said you're in trouble, that you broke rules." "A few." "Are they going to arrest you?" "Maybe. Probably." "But you saved us." "Saving people isn't always legal." "That's stupid." "Yeah, it really is." Chen's phone rang. She answered, listened. Her expression shifted from tense to stunned. She hung up, looked at Lex. "Senator Calloway just tried to commit suicide in custody. He failed, but he's confessing, naming names. Everyone. He knows the evidence is public. He knows he's done. So he's taking everyone down with him." "How many names?" 47 so far. Senators, judges, agency directors. This is going to reshape the entire federal government." Lex sat down, sudden exhaustion hitting. Titan lay beside her. She rested her hand on his head. "We did it. You did it. One seal, one signal. You brought down an empire. I had help. Titan, you, Kara, all those girls who refused to give up hope. What happens now? Now we face the consequences. Grand juries, congressional hearings, probably some prison time for unauthorized operations. Worth it? Lex looked at Arya, at her sister alive and safe, at the girls being loaded into ambulances, at freedom they'd never thought they'd see. Yeah, every second, every risk, worth it. And somewhere in Washington, D.C., in newsrooms across the country, journalists were opening files that would destroy careers, topple administrations, and prove that sometimes the most powerful weapon wasn't a gun or a law. Sometimes it was just 3 fingers, 2 pulses, and 1 seal who refused to let evil win. 6 hours after the upload, Lex sat in an FBI interrogation room. Hands cuffed to the table, shoulder bandaged but throbbing. Titan had been taken away despite her protests, and across from her sat 2 federal prosecutors who looked like they wanted her head on a spike. Lieutenant Morrison, the lead prosecutor, a woman named Patricia Reeves, began. You faked your death, conducted unauthorized undercover operations, killed 7 people, leaked classified evidence to the media, and triggered the largest federal corruption scandal in U.S. history. Do you understand the severity of these charges? I understand I saved 300 girls from being trafficked. That's not a legal defense. It's the only defense that matters. The second prosecutor, a man named David Marsh, leaned forward. You violated the Espionage Act, unauthorized disclosure of classified information. That's 20 years minimum. And that's before we get to the murders. Self-defense isn't murder. You shot Viktor Sokolov 3 times. That's not self-defense. That's execution. He was about to call in guards who would have killed 17 girls. I made a tactical decision. You made yourself judge, jury, and executioner. Lex met his eyes. I made myself a SEAL, doing what SEALs do, protecting people who can't protect themselves. Reeves pulled out a file. Senator Calloway's attorney is filing charges against you. Assault, attempted murder, unlawful imprisonment. He's claiming you tortured his client. I knocked him unconscious. That's not torture. His lawyer says otherwise. And unlike you, Calloway has resources, legal teams, political connections, people who want this to go away quietly. It's already public. 20 news organizations have the evidence, which creates a fascinating legal situation. Reeves smiled. Cold. Predatory. Because now we have to prosecute everyone, including you, to prove we're not selective, to prove justice applies equally. Lex understood immediately. You're using me as a scapegoat to balance prosecuting Calloway. We're following the law. You broke it, multiple times, in multiple ways. To save lives. The law doesn't have a saving lives exception for breaking federal statutes. The door opened. Chen entered. Behind her walked a man Lex recognized from news coverage, Attorney General Michael Torres. Everyone stood. Torres waved them down. Sit, all of you. He looked at Lex. Lieutenant Morrison, you've created quite a situation. Sir? 47 federal officials are being arrested as we speak, based on evidence you leaked. Evidence that should have gone through proper channels, that should have been handled by the Justice Department, not a rogue SEAL with a personal vendetta. With respect, sir, the Justice Department had this evidence for years and did nothing. Torres's jaw tightened. What are you talking about? Chen placed a folder on the table. 3 years ago, a whistleblower came to DOJ with evidence of trafficking. Names, locations, financial records. The case was buried. The whistleblower died in a car accident 6 weeks later. The agent who took the report? Deputy Director Marcus Webb. The room went silent. Torres picked up the folder. Read. His face went from stern to furious. Where did you get this? Victor's phone. Complete communication history, including orders from Webb to eliminate the whistleblower. Sir, the corruption goes deeper than Callaway. It's in the Bureau, the Justice Department, maybe your office. Torres looked at Reeves and Marsh. Get out. Sir, we're in the middle of... I said get out. Now. They left. Torres sat down heavily. How many people know about Webb? Just us, Chen said. For now. For now. Torres rubbed his face. Jesus Christ. If this gets out... When this gets out, Lex interrupted. Sir, you can suppress it. Try to manage it. Or you can get ahead of it. Announce immediate investigation. Fire Webb. Prove the Justice Department prosecutes its own. You're giving me advice on how to handle a scandal you created? I'm giving you advice on how to survive it. Torres stared at her. You're 22 years old. 23 as of last week. Sir, and you think you understand Washington politics? No, sir, but I understand tactics. And right now, you've got two choices. Prosecute me to look tough on rogue agents, or use me to prove the system works when good people fight corruption. One makes you look strong for a week. The other makes you Attorney General who cleaned up federal law enforcement. Torres was quiet for a long moment. Then he smiled. Captain Chen, where did you find this one? She found me, sir, and she's the best SEAL I ever commanded. She's also facing 20 federal charges. Yes, sir, but she's also the only reason 300 girls are alive. The only reason Callaway's network is exposed. The only reason we have any chance of fixing this mess. Torres stood. Here's what's going to happen. Lieutenant Morrison, you will face a military tribunal for unauthorized operations. The charges are serious. You will likely be discharged. But the tribunal will be classified. No public spectacle. No media circus. And Callaway? Lex asked. Goes to trial. Public. Televised. Every dirty detail exposed. Along with his 47 co-conspirators. Including Webb? Especially Webb. Nobody betrays the Bureau and walks. What about the girls? The 300 we rescued? FBI Victim Services. Full support. Medical care, counseling, relocation if needed, and protection. Anyone who testifies gets federal protection. They'll need more than protection. They'll need hope, purpose, something to believe in. Torres looked at Chen. What is she talking about? Chen pulled out another file. Lieutenant Morrison has a proposal. A foundation. Teaching self-defense and emergency signals to at-risk populations. Using her story to prevent trafficking. Funded by seized assets from Callaway's network. You want to use criminal proceeds to fund an anti-trafficking program? I want to use the money they made, destroying lives, to rebuild them, Lex said. Every dollar they earn from suffering goes back to preventing it. Poetic justice. Torres considered. It would be good PR. Justice Department supporting victim recovery. Show we care beyond prosecution. He looked at Lex. But you'd be the face of it. A discharged SEAL with a questionable record. Can you handle that? I handled 47 days undercover in a trafficking compound. I can handle media attention. Fame is different than survival. Then I'll learn. Same way I learned everything else. By doing it scared and refusing to quit. Torres nodded. I'll consider it. But first you survive the tribunal. Then we talk about foundations." He left. Chen uncuffed Lex. "That went better than expected." "He's using me. Using the story to rehabilitate Justice's reputation." "Of course he is. Politics is about optics. But if it gets you out of prison and helps the girls, does it matter?" "I guess not." "Lex," Chen's voice dropped. "The tribunal is real." "They could still court-martial you. Dishonorable discharge. Prison time. The Navy doesn't like SEALs who go rogue." "I know. So why did you do it? Really? Was it just about Arya?" Lex thought about the question. About the 47 days watching girls get broken. About the moment she realized she could either be complicit through silence or active through resistance. Arya was the reason I started, but she wasn't the reason I finished. I finished because someone had to. Because if Navy SEALs don't fight monsters, who does? Chen smiled. "You sound like your father." Lex's head snapped up. "You knew my father?" "James Morrison, Colonel, Delta Force. He died 8 years ago investigating a trafficking network. Car accident, they said. But we both know better now, don't we?" The room tilted. Lex grabbed the table. "My father was investigating trafficking?" "Calloway's network specifically. He got too close. They killed him. Made it look like an accident." "Your mother never knew the truth. Neither did you or Arya." "How do you know this?" Chen pulled out a photo. Lex's father in military uniform, younger, smiling, standing next to Chen, who looked 20 years younger. "We served together. He was my mentor, taught me everything I know about investigations. When he died, I couldn't prove it was murder, but I never forgot. And when I saw you fighting the same network," Chen's voice cracked, "it felt like James sent you, like he knew someday his daughter would finish what he started." Lex stared at the photo, at her father's face, at the truth she'd never known. "Does Arya know?" "No, and maybe she shouldn't. Some truths hurt more than they heal." "She deserves to know Dad was a hero." "He was. And now so are you." The door burst open. An FBI agent, young, panicked, ran in. "Captain Chen, we've got a situation." "What kind?" "The safe house where we moved the rescued girls. It's under attack. Armed assault, military-grade weapons. They're trying to take the girls." Lex was moving before Chen could respond. "Where's Titan?" "Kennel, but—" "Get him, now, and give me a weapon. You're in custody, and my sister is in that safe house. Give me a weapon or get out of my way." Chen pulled her service pistol, handed it to Lex. "Let's go get them back." They ran through FBI headquarters, grabbed tactical gear. Chen radioed for backup. Lex's mind was already in combat mode, assessing, planning, preparing. The safe house was 20 minutes away. They'd never make it in time. Unless... "Chen, the K9 unit, where are they?" "Staging area, 10 minutes from the safe house." "Call them. Tell them enemy assault in progress. Tell them to engage." "K9s aren't assault dogs. Titan is, and he's got 9 other German shepherds who'll follow his lead. Trust me." Chen made the call. Lex grabbed her gear. They hit the parking garage, jumped into a tactical vehicle. Chen drove like she was back in Fallujah. Lights, sirens, weaving through traffic. Lex's phone rang. Unknown number. She answered. A distorted voice. "Lieutenant Morrison, you should have stayed dead." "Who is this?" "Someone who's about to finish what we started. Your sister, the 300 girls. All of them die tonight, because you couldn't leave well enough alone." "If you touch them..." "You'll what? You're 20 minutes away. We're inside the safe house. Guards are dead. Girls are ours, and by the time you arrive, they'll be gone. International waters, beyond FBI jurisdiction, beyond your reach. I will hunt you, I will find you, and I will kill you. Brave words, but you're just one SEAL. We're an organization. We survive. We always survive. The line went dead. Lex looked at Chen. They're taking them, right now. We're out of time. K9 unit is 3 minutes out. They'll hold until we arrive. 3 minutes is too long. It's all we've got. Lex closed her eyes, pictured Titan, pictured the signal. 3 fingers, 2 pulses. Emergency extraction. But Titan was 15 minutes away in a kennel. He couldn't help. Unless... Lex grabbed Chen's radio. This is Lieutenant Morrison. I need direct comm with K9 unit handler, right now. Static. Then a woman's voice. This is Handler Martinez. Who am I talking to? The SEAL who trained with Titan. I need you to do exactly what I say, right now, without questioning. Ma'am, I don't take orders from... Titan knows emergency hand signals. If I describe them, can you relay them? Yes, but... Do it. 3 fingers, 2 pulses, hold for 3 seconds. That's the emergency extraction signal. Titan will recognize it. He'll lead the other dogs. They'll breach the safe house and hold position until we arrive. You have to do it right now. Silence. Then, we're 3 minutes out. I see the safe house. Hostiles on perimeter. Armed. Military gear. Ma'am, K9s aren't trained for... Titan is. Trust him. Give the signal. More silence. Then over the radio, Lex heard Martinez's voice. Titan, watch me. 3 fingers, 2 pulses. And somewhere 3 miles away, a German shepherd's ears snapped forward. Recognition firing. Training activating. He barked once. Sharp. Commanding. The 9 other dogs turned toward him. Martinez's voice came back breathless. He's responding. They're all responding. Titan's leading them toward the house. Oh my God, they're breaching. Gunfire over the radio. Screaming. The chaos of combat. Then silence. Martinez, report! Nothing. Chen pushed the vehicle faster. 2 minutes away. 90 seconds. 1 minute. They arrived to chaos. Bodies everywhere. Hostiles down. FBI agents securing perimeter. And in the center of it all, 10 German shepherds standing guard over 300 girls huddled together, unharmed. Titan sat at the front, blood on his muzzle, eyes scanning for threats. When he saw Lex, his tail wagged once. Lex ran to him, dropped to her knees. Good boy, such a good boy. She looked at the girls, found Arya, alive, shaking but alive. How? Arya whispered. How did the dogs know to come? Lex held up 3 fingers, pulsed them twice. Because some signals save lives, and some dogs never forget their training. Martinez approached. Lieutenant, that was... I've never seen anything like that. Titan breached like he'd done it 1,000 times. The other dogs followed. They took down 6 hostiles before we even arrived. Where are the attackers who survived? In custody. They're not talking. But they had satellite phones. We're coordinating with someone. Who? Chen walked over, face grim. We traced the calls. They went to a congressional office. Senator Frank Morrison. Lex's blood froze. Morrison? That's... your uncle. Your father's brother. He's been on the Armed Services Committee for 12 years, working directly with Calloway. The world tilted. Lex's uncle. Her family. Part of the network that killed her father. the trafficked girls that tried to kill Arya. Where is he? In the wind. Fled when Calloway started confessing. We've got warrants, but I'll find him. Lex, you're in custody. You can't. He tried to kill my sister, my family. I'm finding him. And somewhere in Washington, D.C., Frank Morrison was running. But he'd forgotten one thing. You can't outrun a seal who has nothing left to lose. Chen grabbed Lex's arm before she could run. You're not going after him alone. Watch me. Lex, he's a U.S. senator with resources, security detail, safe houses. You can't just hunt him down like the trafficker he is? Yes, I can. I've been doing it for 3 months. You were undercover then. Now you're a known entity. He'll see you coming. Then I'll come faster than he can run. Arya appeared beside them. Lex, don't. He tried to kill you. And you saved me. Let the FBI handle him. Don't throw away everything you fought for because of revenge. This isn't revenge. It's justice. It's suicide. You go after a senator and they'll bury you. Please, I just got you back. Don't make me lose you again. Lex looked at her sister, at the fear in her eyes, at the plea that went deeper than words. And something in her chest cracked, because Arya was right. Going after Frank Morrison alone was exactly the kind of reckless decision that got seals killed. Then what do we do? Let him run? Let him disappear into some country without extradition? Chen's phone rang. She answered, listened. Her expression shifted from tense to shocked. She hung up slowly. Frank Morrison just turned himself in. Lex stared. What? Walked into FBI headquarters 30 minutes ago. Demanded to speak to Attorney General Torres. Says he wants to make a deal. Full cooperation in exchange for immunity. No, absolutely not. He doesn't get to walk. He won't walk. Torres already rejected immunity. But he's talking, naming everyone, including people Calloway didn't know about. People higher up the chain. How much higher? Chen's voice dropped. White House staff, Pentagon officials, people who make Calloway look like small time. Lex felt the world shift. This goes to the top. All the way. And your uncle is the key to proving it. Which means we need him alive. Cooperative. Not dead from a rogue seal with a personal vendetta. I want to see him. Face to face. That's not protocol. I don't care about protocol. He killed my father, trafficked my sister, tried to murder 300 girls. I deserve to look him in the eye. Chen considered. I can get you 5 minutes. Supervised. No weapons. No physical contact. That's all I need. They drove to FBI headquarters. Lex was processed through security. Titan was left in Chen's office despite his protests. And Lex was led to an interrogation room where Senator Frank Morrison sat in handcuffs, looking 20 years older than his photos. He looked up when she entered, recognition and shame crossing his face. Alexis. Don't. You don't get to use my name. Not after what you did. I know you're angry. Angry? I'm not angry. Angry is what you feel when someone cuts you off in traffic. What I feel is rage. Pure. Focused. The kind of rage that makes me understand why some crimes deserve worse than prison. Frank looked down at his cuffed hands. I never meant for it to get this far. How far did you mean it to get? When you helped kill Dad? Was that far enough? His head snapped up. I didn't kill James. That was Calloway. I tried to stop it. I warned your father to back off, but he wouldn't listen because he was a good man. Because he cared about stopping monsters. And you. Lex's voice broke. You were his brother. You were supposed to protect him. I couldn't. I was already too deep. James found evidence that linked me to the network. He gave me a choice. Stop, or he'd expose everything. I begged him to walk away. He refused. So Calloway... Frank stopped, swallowed. Calloway had him killed, made it look like an accident. And I let it happen because the alternative was admitting what I'd become. A traitor, a trafficker, a man who sold children to save himself. Yes, all of those things. I'm not asking forgiveness. I'm trying to explain. There's no explanation that makes this okay. I know. That's why I turned myself in. Because I looked at those 300 girls you saved, and I saw your sister's face, and I realized, his voice cracked, I realized James would be ashamed of what I became, and I couldn't live with that anymore. So you're cooperating to ease your conscience? I'm cooperating because it's the only decent thing I've done in 8 years, and because you deserve to know the truth about your father. He died a hero, investigating the biggest trafficking network in U.S. history. He documented everything, hid it all, and when Calloway killed him, we thought the evidence died with him. What evidence? Files, financial records, testimony, everything he gathered in 2 years of investigation. He told me he'd hidden it somewhere safe, somewhere only someone who knew him would think to look. I've been searching for 8 years, never found it. Lex's mind raced. Her father hiding evidence. Just like she'd watched Aria's mother hide the USB drive. Just like Lex herself had transmitted Victor's files. Where would he hide it? If I knew, I'd have destroyed it years ago to protect myself. But James was smart. Smarter than all of us. He hid it so well that... Frank stopped. Looked at Lex with sudden understanding. Unless he didn't hide it for me to find. He hid it for you. For me? I was 14 when he died. You were his daughter, his legacy. James used to say if anything happened to him, you'd finish what he started. We thought he was being dramatic. But maybe... Frank leaned forward. Where would your father hide something meant only for you? Something nobody else would think to look. Lex thought. Childhood memories flooding back. Her father teaching her hand signals. Teaching her to observe. Teaching her that the best hiding places weren't secret locations. They were places hidden in plain sight. And then she knew. His medal case. The one Mom kept in the living room. His military medals and ribbons. It's been sitting in our house for 8 years. Frank's eyes widened. That case has been there the whole time? Nobody touches it. Mom kept it as a memorial. I looked at it every day growing up, but I never opened it, never thought to look inside the frame. You need to get it, right now, before someone else realizes. The door burst open. Chen ran in. Lex, your mother's house. Someone just broke in. Silent alarm triggered. Police are en route, but... Lex was already moving. They're after the medal case. What medal case? My father's evidence. It's there. It's been there the entire time. They ran, grabbed Titan from Chen's office, jumped into a vehicle. Chen drove with lights and sirens while Lex called her mother. No answer. 3 calls. 4. Finally, voicemail. Mom, if you're home, get out. Right now. Someone's coming. They're dangerous. Please, go to the neighbors. Call 911. Get out. Chen's phone rang. She answered on speaker. Chen here. Captain, this is dispatch. Officers on scene at the Morrison residence. They've got one suspect in custody. Female, 50s. Says she's the homeowner. That's my mother, Lex shouted. Let me talk to her. Static. Then her mother's voice. Shaking. Scared. Lex, baby, I don't understand what's happening. These police say someone broke into the house, but I was here the whole time and I didn't hear anything. Mom, Is Dad's metal case still there? The one in the living room? What? Yes. Why would... Is it damaged? Open? Moved? No, it's exactly where it's always been. Lex, what is this about? I'm coming. Stay with the police. Don't let anyone near that case. I'll explain everything. They arrived to find police cars everywhere. Lex's mother standing on the lawn, wrapped in a blanket. She saw Lex and started crying. What is happening? They said someone tried to break in, that you're in danger, that... Lex hugged her. I'll explain everything. But first, I need Dad's metal case. Why? Because Dad hid something in it. Something important. Something people are willing to kill for. They went inside under police escort. The metal case sat exactly where it had been for 8 years. Shadow box frame, Purple Heart, bronze star, service ribbons. Lex's father smiling in his dress uniform photo. Lex lifted it off the wall, turned it over. The backing was sealed. She grabbed a knife from the kitchen, carefully cut the seal, removed the backing. And there, taped to the inside, was a USB drive and a letter. The letter was in her father's handwriting. To whoever finds this, if you're reading it, I'm probably dead. What's on this drive is evidence of a human trafficking network operating with government protection. I've documented everything: names, dates, financial transactions, testimony from victims, proof that U.S. officials are profiting from the sale of children. If I'm dead, it means they got to me. But they didn't get this. Use it. Expose them. Finish what I started. And if you're my daughter Alexis reading this, I'm so proud of you. I knew you'd be the one to find it. You're braver than you know, stronger than you think. And I'll be watching from wherever soldiers go when we die. Finish this fight for me, for all the girls who need a hero. Love, Dad. Lex's hands shook, tears falling on the letter. 8 years. The evidence had been right there for 8 years. Chen took the USB drive. We need to get this authenticated. If it's what your father says, it is. He wouldn't lie, not about this. They took the drive to FBI headquarters. Tech Division loaded it, and what they found made national news within hours. Videos of government officials at trafficking auctions. Financial records showing payments from 23 countries. Communications between senators discussing merchandise and shipping schedules. Testimony from victims naming names. Everything needed to dismantle not just Callaway's network, but the international syndicate it connected to. Attorney General Torres called a press conference that night, announced arrests of 14 more officials, showed clips from the evidence, and credited the courage of Lieutenant Alexis Morrison and her father Colonel James Morrison for exposing corruption at the highest levels of government. Lex watched the press conference from a hospital room where doctors were finally treating her shoulder properly. Aria sat beside her, their mother on the other side. Titan lying at the foot of the bed.
Dad would be proud,
Aria whispered. Yeah, he would. What happens now? Now we heal. Then we fight to make sure this never happens again. 3 months later, Lex stood before a military tribunal. The charges were read. Unauthorized operations, falsifying death records, multiple counts of manslaughter, destruction of federal property, unauthorized disclosure of classified information. The prosecution argued for dishonorable discharge and 20 years in military prison. The defense argued for complete exoneration based on extraordinary circumstances. The tribunal deliberated for 6 hours. When they returned, the lead officer read the verdict. On the charge of unauthorized operations, guilty. On the charge of falsifying records, guilty. On the charges of manslaughter, not guilty. Self-defense determined reasonable. on the charge of unauthorized disclosure. Guilty. However, given the extraordinary circumstances, the evidence of systemic corruption, and the 300 lives saved, this tribunal sentences Lieutenant Alexis Morrison to time served, reduction in rank to E5, and honorable discharge with full benefits. Chen, sitting in the gallery, started applauding. Others joined. Even some of the tribunal members smiled. Lex was free, dishonorably reduced in rank, but honorably discharged. No prison. No criminal record. Just a SEAL who'd broken rules to save lives. Outside the courtroom, reporters swarmed. Lex gave one statement. "My father taught me that some things are worth fighting for, even when the odds are impossible. He died protecting children from traffickers. I finished his mission, and now I'm starting a foundation to make sure no child ever feels as helpless as my sister did, as those 300 girls did. We're going to teach self-defense, emergency signals, how to recognize trafficking, how to signal for help when you can't scream, because sometimes 3 fingers and 2 pulses can save your life. And every person deserves to know that." The Morrison Foundation launched 6 months later, funded by seized assets from trafficking networks, teaching vulnerable populations emergency signals, pairing rescue dogs with at-risk youth, training law enforcement in anti-trafficking operations. Lex ran it with Aria as co-director. Their mother handled administration. Chen joined the board, and Titan became the Foundation's official mascot and training dog. They trained 10,000 people in the first year, prevented 47 trafficking attempts, helped rescue 200 more victims, and taught millions through viral videos that speaking up, or signaling up, could save lives. On the anniversary of the rescue, Lex stood at her father's grave with Aria and Titan. She placed new flowers, touched the headstone. "We did it, Dad. Calloway got life without parole. 47 officials convicted. Your evidence dismantled the network, and we're making sure it never rebuilds. The Foundation has your name, your legacy. You're saving lives even now." Aria added, "We miss you, every day. But we're okay. Better than okay. We're strong, because you taught us to be." Titan barked once. Agreement. Affirmation. They walked away together. 3 survivors. 2 human. 1 canine. All of them changed by the fight. All of them committed to making sure others didn't have to fight alone. Because Lex had learned the most important lesson of all. Sometimes the smallest signal, 3 fingers, 2 pulses, 1 desperate prayer, can change everything. As long as someone is listening, as long as someone refuses to look away, as long as someone has the courage to stand up even when standing up costs everything. And the dogs would always listen. The good people would always respond. The fight would continue. Because that's what heroes do. Not because they're fearless, but because they choose courage anyway. Lex had started as one woman trying to save her sister. She'd become the woman who saved 300 girls and exposed a government conspiracy. Not through strength or weapons or tactics. Through the simple act of refusing to stay silent when silence was safer. Her father had taught her that legacy isn't what you survive. It's what you do with survival. And Lex Morrison's legacy would be teaching others that their voices mattered. Their signals mattered. They mattered. 1 signal, 10 dogs, 300 lives, and a truth that would echo forever. Courage doesn't require an army. Sometimes, it just requires one person brave enough to raise 3 fingers, pulse twice, and trust that somewhere, someone is watching. Someone is listening. Someone will come. And they always did. Because that's what hope looks like when it refuses to die.